Hello.
Welcome back to our videos and as well the podcast because now I'm uploading it on Spotify. I am not sure if it's available yet.
So if you can't watch this video, you can go on Spotify and watch it. I mean, listen to it.
Yeah, so it's welcome to the video and the podcast. So today's topic, as you've seen for the title, is us talking about if it was worth it to move to the UK. Obviously based on our opinion. So we are not students, we are just working.
Spicy topic.
And we are living in the north of England. That affects I don't know what else.
Either way, it's our experience.
Yeah.
If you want more experience,
we are from Portugal,
for it.
so we'll not feel that much of a cultural difference because it's Europe, it's Western Europe, but we will be talking about differences.
You know
that
what?
We find.
I have an idea. If you, after you watch this video, if you have had a
or
different,
listen,
or listen to the podcast. If you have had a different experience, comment it in the comments.
Yeah, you have to go to YouTube to do that. But anyways. So, the first thing is obviously you feel out of place. And I thought that people would notice more that we were outsiders, but I guess they just don't care anymore. But we were from a very small place. I mean, you lived in the capitals, but I was from a small place, and every outsider, like every immigrant, you would like, oh, she is from Brazil, or she is from wherever, you know? So
even if it was from a different city. Like if it was from a different
exactly.
village.
Because
you're not from this village.
Yeah, because everyone that we knew they were born there, born and bred. So everyone was like, oh my gosh, she's an outsider. So it was kind of foreign to us. Like we had an English girl at some point and we were like, oh my god, she is English.
Oh, she's so special.
Yeah, everyone would be talking about her.
Oh my god! You're
So
not from the village.
we thought people would be like, oh, you're not from here, but not a lot of people care because they have so many immigrants at this point. They don't care. Yeah,
true.
so we thought that people would notice us more than they actually did. And Ricardo is eating porridge, by the way, if you're just listening to it.
It doesn't taste so good.
You didn't put enough sugar, that's your issue.
Well, rather not have diabetes.
Yeah, so I have a bunch of notes. Other thing is that it's very hard to relate to people because some people haven't been outside of UK the same way we haven't been outside of Portugal. I mean, you've been to Spain, but
yeah, so it's like when we talk with them, they don't understand, they don't
like
see our point of
you
view.
speaking English to them, but it feels like they don't understand you for some reason. It's very hard to explain it to you.
Oh yeah.
As well, but they don't really understand where you're coming from. Like you say, oh, I didn't understand what you mean because like this is not how we do it or whatever. And they'll be like, what do you mean?
For those people, all that they have seen is the UK, so that's their only experience. And if you come from a different place and you have different
even
manners,
though they have many immigrants,
yeah.
even though that they say that the immigrants are living in a different lifestyle or whatever, I don't see that at all. Every immigrant that I see, they're kind of living a British lifestyle, in my opinion.
Yeah,
they're living the same way British people would. So it feels like it's a melting pot, but it's just like everyone just seems very British. And even immigrants, sometimes I listen to them talk in English most of the time. Obviously, if they have like small children, they tend to speak in their own language.
it depends.
But I don't know.
There are some that only speak their language in the street.
I find that a lot of Muslim people, they speak in English to their children. You don't see that? I see that a lot.
I see the opposite, so...
Yeah, I guess
She sees a lot of people acting like they are British and speaking in English.
Because they're speaking English.
And what I see most of the time is the complete opposite. People speaking in their own language right in front of other people that don't speak their language.
No matter what you do, it just never feels like home. But it's because, like, in my example, I only lived in one place my whole life.
Yeah.
So I got used to the routine. And it just never feels like that anymore. Not that I like that routine. I didn't. But at the same time, it just feels comfortable, you know, like to be expecting the same thing. Like everybody knows you. It's a small town. You just kind of know what to expect from everybody. And here it just, you never really settle in. I don't know, because you don't have any friends. It's really hard to make friends when you're adult.
We've only lived in cities since we've come to the UK.
Yeah, and it's very hard to make friends. Like, I have a very like close approach to customers. I have to spend some time alone with them to do what I do. I'm a piercer, by the way. Why am I putting so much, like, okay. Anyways, so I talk to a lot of people, but it's not like they're trying to invite you, like, oh, you're so cool, why are we not friends? Like, no, it's really hard to make friends, and I also don't want to be pushing it to other people. But
you said it's because we're adults and it's kind of more difficult.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't mean like it's because we're from a different place, but I think it also has some thing to it.
Yeah, and like you said, it doesn't feel like home to you at all because you've always lived in the same place and now you haven't. For me, it was the exact opposite. I've lived in 8 houses in Portugal or something like that. Or I've moved 8 times. I don't know. So yeah, I never felt like anything was home. For me, home, it's like the people we are with, mostly.
Yeah, and I guess that plays a factor into it, the fact that you're saying that. Because here, we don't have anybody. We have friends in Scotland, but it's another country. Just because it's in the UK, it's still really far away. And it's like 5 hours in the car. And obviously, because of COVID, there's no way we are seeing them. So you're still alone. You're all by yourself. Mm-hmm. You don't have anyone to visit, nobody to comfort you. You're by yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Just thrown at the wolves. And you know, when we were in Portugal, I didn't feel like Portugal was home. In fact, when I was there, I hated it. Did that change? Just only a bit slightly. And then I moved here, and
the thing is, a lot of British people love Portugal.
Hang on, okay, yeah, that's another topic. Yeah. So when I came here, I just thought it was going to be perfect. It was going to be home. I was going to feel like I belonged. All of those expectations, they fell apart.
Obviously.
I tried to improve my accent, but I will never sound like them. And I don't care.
Especially because we're moving and their accents are different all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So don't even try.
They say kegs here instead of trousers or pants. They say kegs.
You're right. You're right.
Anyway. Yeah, it's not home here as well. I don't think I got this doomy perspective about life now, and I don't think I'll ever find a place that I'll call home.
I think
I've only visited these two, so maybe I'm just being negative as usual.
Or maybe like you have to find it within yourself. I have no idea. Because
Guru Jenny.
No, honestly, like it's not the place. Because a lot of people, they're from here and
continue.
Whatever city you go to, they're like so proud of it. So proud of it.
They tattoo it in their skin.
What? No, yes. They don't.
I've seen people tattooing Manchester when we were in Manchester, and the bees everywhere.
Okay, the bees are cute though. That doesn't.
So they are proud. I've made
your point. Yeah. The thing is, I just don't see myself being proud of being from one place, but that's because like it doesn't suit me. I'm not nationalist, so I'm not be like England or Portugal or anything like that. Like, and it's not because of the place I live. I just, there are also a lot of bad things, and the good things are not that good that you be like, oh yes, I'm from here. I'm so proud of the place where I live.
We could be like that guy in Portugal who owns a rock, and he says it's his kingdom and that he's the king of that rock, and he's so proud of it.
That's like very specific. For whoever knows, there is Madeira. And there is like a really
just a rock,
small
like
place,
3 meters wide, something like that.
And this guy just said that it was
his kingdom. Yeah,
kingdom. Yeah.
And he's got a plate for anyone who goes visit. It says there that's his kingdom. It's got a flag. It's got everything.
Yeah, he is a lunatic. Anyways,
What if he watches this podcast?
please invite me to your kingdom. The next thing, because this is not all bad things, you can obviously afford a lot more stuff. Not a lot more stuff. We are on minimum wage. Ricardo is on his age minimum wage. That's a thing as well. Here in the UK, they have different minimum wages for your age,
Which is
stupid.
but it's
in
still
my
more
opinion.
than the minimum wage in Portugal and
Oh,
most countries.
Yeah, so I kind of
And most countries.
made a comparison. Yeah. Germany
Continue.
pays better. I think I saw that. So, in Portugal, full-time job in minimum wage. On minimum, I don't know it's if it's in or on. Anyways.
Whatever.
You get 600 euros. And
A month. Yeah.
yeah. And here, working a full-time job on the 25-year-old minimum wage, which is the highest minimum wage of the minimum wages,
Yeah.
you would get £1,220.
That's double.
Yeah,
That's
that's
doubled.
exactly double. I mean,
Twice
even
as
a
more.
little bit more, to be honest. And that's the thing. But also, the rent is high, but is as high as Portuguese
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
I believe that's the thing. Like I was telling you guys in the beginning, a lot of people, they are like, Portugal is so nice. Why would you ever move from Portugal? A lot of people ask me that.
Because I don't
they
live
have
on a beach.
they have no idea. They think it's really nice. The weather is nice. It's lovely, honestly. Portugal is lovely for holidays. For holidays, it's lovely. It's not lovely to be on a minimum wage, cannot even afford to move out of your parents' place. It's just chaos, really.
They think we live in beaches with resort houses and mansions.
They don't think that. I don't think that.
Ah, well, maybe they think we live in tents in a
But
campsite.
they think it's like such a lovely. It's always the weather. For some reason, they're like, oh, if it has better weather, then it's a better place to live. Like that's not the case at all.
Well, that's because they haven't been out. Well, they have been outside, but they haven't tried living outside. That really was a big thing that made us grow.
Yeah, because it is nice. Portugal is very nice, and I would love to have a holiday house. I guess if I were rich enough. If I was rich enough, I would have a holiday house. I mean, I have my parents' a house anyways, but so why would I? But it is not nice to not be able to afford anything, and our parents, they have a better lifestyle than people on minimum wage because they are older and obviously they are not on minimum wage. But most people nowadays our age, they are. I mean, obviously they are, unless they are rich and they got them, the parents got a job for them. Everyone with our age is getting a minimum wage.
Do me flashy speaks. World is going to shit.
Okay.
Next.
So the thing is that you are able to, I mean, you're not able to live by yourself in the UK, I wouldn't say.
No. Unless you worked full-time.
Unless you work full-time and you live in a small studio, like the one we live.
Or you lived with your parents.
But...
Sure. Oh, by yourself. That was the whole point.
Yeah.
Oops.
Or you have a really small studio, work full-time, maybe you don't pay high rent.
Room,
yeah, you can, but that's not by yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, as in having your own place. So it is not paradise. It is not the case that you can make a ton of money and you have a bunch of money to spare.
no.
It is not that case, but for two people, it is comfortable. It is not wow, but it's comfortable.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah. So what I put is like, here you would spend around, I mean, those are average values from what we have experienced. You would most likely have a rent of 500.
Well, except in Manchester and other places.
Yeah, if it's a really big, I mean, I'm not talking about London. No.
Oh, God.
No way. Small city
Multiply
or
by
towns.
3 if you want London. Or
Yeah,
something
or
like that.
small city or a town. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, so 500 rent, 200 bills, I would say.
Yep. 120 council tax or something like that.
That's included in the 200. By the way, what
Was
he
it?
meant. Yeah, 200 in bills. Yes.
People will spend a lot on energy. We still haven't paid out. Well, we have, but they made mistakes. So we don't know exactly how much we'll have to pay in one go. But people pay around 50 or something.
You
on
have
energy.
a discount on council tax. You pay half if you live by yourself. So
Oh, okay.
if it's 100, then you would pay 50.
I would say 250.
Okay, 250 for bills. Plus groceries. I don't know what kind of lifestyle you have, but
We spend around 100.
yeah, at this moment, because we are just
We don't
like,
eat many things. We're starving. Look at me.
what? We are buying more stuff at the moment because at the beginning we are trying to save as much as possible to move out, and I mean, we were not eating the best.
No.
We were just like trying to save on food, which is the worst thing you could do, but that's literally the only thing we could save on. We had no other
We were
expenses we
desperate.
could save on. It's not like you can save on rent, and we wouldn't buy anything. So that's literally the only thing we could save on.
Yeah.
So you have that, and then whatever you decide to buy that is outside of the budget, then around £1,000 per year for car insurance.
We don't have a car, so we can't be.
Exact, but that's what I saw online. At least when I tried to see how much it would be for us to have a car, and then £50 per month in petrol. On petrol, I don't know. So
It depends on.
yeah,
your
it depends on your
journeys,
lifestyle. I don't know what you do, but this is kind of the average. The thing is, when you work 8 hours in the UK, you are obligated to take an hour break, right? And most companies, especially if you're working on minimum wage, it means that your job is kind of not really essential. I mean, I don't mean it. I mean, it's like they don't really take care of you. You're just like
Yeah. Just another
whoever. Yeah, another
piece of meat in the company.
Yeah, exactly. So you're the
Just
underdog.
another steak.
And because of that, they are not gonna pay your break. So you work 8 hours and you only get paid for 7.
I don't get paid.
I don't get paid for my lunch break, which is 30 minutes.
Which is your only break.
Sometimes I'm lucky
We don't
enough
get paid.
to have like 10 minutes off.
We don't get paid.
But yeah, so you kind of, I mean, but I think that's the case in Portugal, to be honest.
Yeah, in Portugal you work overtime and you don't get paid.
Yeah, I know my mom works
My mom
all
as well.
the time.
My mom works at
overtime.
home.
Yeah, well,
Just
my
give her a
mom
whole
can't
bunch
work
of
at
things.
home because
Oh,
her job doesn't allow it, but she does overtime for free all the time. So either way,
Yeah.
stupid. Yeah, whatever. It sucks, but what can you do? The thing is, the minimum wage for 25 at the moment is £8.72 per hour.
Which we are not making. It's okay, I'd rather be young.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you are 18 to 21, you're getting paid 6.45, and then in between it's 8.20, and yeah, then it's 8.72, I think. I'm almost 100% sure. Okay, the next thing, it is easier to deal with bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy.
Whatever.
Broccoli.
It's easier to deal with broccolis. In Portugal, it was horrible. Anything that I had to do in the bank,
You would need a bunch of
they
documents.
wouldn't understand what I meant. Like, when I was trying to close all of my yes, I had many bank accounts because my mom loves to create bank accounts.
They demanded you to pay.
Yeah, they made me pay for it because I wanted to take my money out of the bank account. They needed a whole
bunch of documents. They needed her mom. What if her mom was dead?
They say that I was already 18.
Sorry. What if her mom was dead?
I was already 18, but I was a minor when my mom created the account, and they said that she would need to go there and sign the documents with me. But then the person that I went to the next time, they said like, no, that's stupid. You don't need your mom. So obviously there is a bunch of miscommunication.
Disagreements, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just really hard. When I was trying to close my accounts, they're like so confused.
Every time you have to change something in your ID or passport, but yeah, ID, you have to like bring this letter that they sent you like 5 years ago, and then you tossed in the trash.
I can't change my address on my ID. I can change my address on my ID because I didn't save a letter that they never said I should save, like the letter that comes with the ID on the mail. They never told me that that was really important. At the moment, when I first did it, it wasn't. But then they decided that that letter was the key for the changes. So anything that you needed to change,
like your address,
would have to have the letter. And they didn't tell me that. They just like...
And they called her a liar or something. Like, that, people are just so crazy.
Yeah, they didn't tell me that I needed to save the letter. I did my ID. It lasted for 5 years, and I did it 5 years ago. Well, almost 5, because then I have to change it if it's 5. But I did it 4 years ago. And they didn't tell me... at that time, you wouldn't need to save the letter. I don't even know if that even existed, like those numbers that you had to save. And you can't just know the numbers, because then what I did is I asked online for them to send me a letter with that, but they're like, no, but that's not the original letter.
Okay. Anyway.
Never mind. What I say is like, the bureaucracy is crazy. So I had a letter with those numbers, but they told me like, no, it has to be the original letter. It can't be a copy that they sent you.
Everything so complicated. And
it's
here in
way
the UK,
harder.
it's easier.
And when I went to the bank to close the bank, it felt like they never heard me say that before. Like they never heard someone say that before.
I hear you now. It's okay.
That's not what I mean. They're like so confused. They're like, what do you mean you want to close your bank account? And that's so stupid, because what if I just want to close my bank account? Just leave me alone. But no, for them it's like, and then I had to pay for that. Just because I didn't want to have it. And you don't get any interest in your savings account in Portugal, or you get like 20p per year, which is crazy.
I had to pay to maintain my savings account.
Yeah, you have to pay for your current account.
I would pay 20 euros every year.
Yeah, you have to pay a bunch of money for them to keep your money when they are the ones who are using your money. That's the purpose of a bank. They're using your money. You just have the numbers, but it's not actually there. It's not like
they are protecting it with armed
guards or something. They're not doing anything, and they're charging you for it, and they don't give you any interest in your savings account. So it's just stupid, because here you get around, well, it's dropped because of COVID, but it's around 0.
Banks have different ones.
0.4 for savings
banks have
account.
Different ones.
Yeah, 0.4 is the average. So they give you 0.4 of your savings account every month.
And what you wanted to say was that bureaucracies here are easier because you can do many things online in the government website.
Yeah, in the government website, you can do everything.
You can even find dates online. Just kidding.
Yeah, that's obvious. But you can do every single thing online. And the thing is, in Portugal,
you can apply for jobs there.
Stop it, I'm serious.
But it's true, you can apply for jobs there.
You can apply for jobs online in Portugal, I'm sure. I haven't
tried.
No, I
mean in the government website. You can apply for jobs there. I've done it.
Oh, okay. But now what I mean...
You can't find a date.
Now I'm confused, you see.
You can't find a date.
I don't remember what I was talking about.
You can apply to jobs there.
Welcome back. We ran out of battery, so this is why there's a bit of changing.
I finished the
We were
porridge.
talking about, yeah, it was horrible, the sound you were making with the mug, to be honest.
The taste was horrible. Anyway.
Well, you don't put sugar on it. What do you expect? It doesn't taste like anything if you don't put sugar. Anyways, I have the biggest hatred for every kind of like bureaucracy, especially Portuguese one. It's just so hard to get things done around there. So I love that it's very easy to do things here
compared to there.
compared to Portugal. I have no idea. Maybe. Oh, I was talking about how in Portugal it was a really big change when I don't even know what it's called. Like it's the tax returns. So there's I don't even know what time is it. Here is in April. So every April you get some money back from the HMRC unless you own them money.
Oh, yeah.
But usually you get money from them unless you are self-employed or you are rich. We're not. So in Portugal you also have the same thing. But I used to do it with my mom when I was little, and we used to do it on paper, and that was crazy. And when it first became digital, people were like, oh my god, you can just like press a few times, but still
That was yesterday. No, just kidding.
yeah, I mean it was very recent, and anyways, it's still harder than here. They just do it for you because everything is just in the system. You don't even have to do anything. They literally, I mean, you have to go to their website to know if they owe you money, or you wait for them to send you a letter. But I was like, where's my money at? So I just went onto their website, but if you don't, they will send you a letter. We were in the house and they sent a letter from someone else that lived there, and the government owned them like £300, and they send you a check. I think that's how you say. They send you a check if you don't go into the website and put your bank card details. So I was like, maybe I could just get his money, but that's not how it works because it's not under your name. It just felt like like he literally lost money because he just didn't have the right address. Anyways,
Well,
here
happens to the best.
We've only lived in cities, so I can only answer for that. But here is just a congregation of spice heads. There's just so many drug addicts in here, and I don't know if the case. Well, you've lived in Lisbon, so
Not exactly in Lisbon.
but
people,
you've seen the city center.
The people I was hanging out with in my school, they all became spice heads. So I'm the best of the bunch. I think it's just a problem with cities.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the thing is, they are nice people though. At least here.
They are? Oh,
They
we
seem
saw
nice.
we saw them selling candles.
They were not selling candles. They were distributing. Like a guy had a bunch of candles in a bag, like big candles, and he was just giving them to all of his friends. I don't know if they do something with them. Do they smoke wax from
If you
the
know,
candles?
please let us know.
Yeah, but a lot
curious.
of people do drugs.
They seem happy because I don't know. They're
Because
all
they're
together
doing
in
drugs.
this. Yeah.
Basically. So there are a bunch of drug addicts in the city center, and they all are like a group of 10 or something, and they just do a circle and pass around. So I don't know if that's something.
They get together in different places around the city center.
Yeah, and they're always like a group of 10 or so.
Yeah.
The next thing is a lot of people are concerned about the weather. The weather is not as terrible as people make it seem. The thing that is the hardest, at least in my opinion, it doesn't rain as much as people make it seem. It does, like, I don't even know. It's just a really light rain that you can barely feel.
And it's foggy.
Yeah, and it's foggy. But the thing is, like, when it doesn't rain as often as people think it does, but the sun is not out most of the time. It's like half of the year, maybe, the sun is not out, as in it's cloudy. So
It doesn't shine.
yeah, it's very cloudy. But not a lot of people say that. They just say it's raining all the time, which is not true. It's just very cloudy. The weather is kind of gray. So sometimes I guess that could be hard for some people. But at least it's not as cold as people think it is. When my parents came to visit, my father, it was not really nice weather because there was a storm, literally a storm, during that time. And he was like, oh, this is how weather is like. I couldn't live here. And he was telling me that all the time, like, the weather is terrible. But there was literally a storm. And it's windy sometimes, but you just have to dress according. Like, you don't expect to come to the UK wearing t-shirts all the time.
There are people who do that. And they wear shorts as well.
Yeah, I see a lot of English people wearing really summery clothes during the winter. I don't know how they do it, honestly. But I think I've never been cold here. Not inside a house, not outside. Sometimes I'm actually hot.
I'm cold.
Because I turn off the heating system by accident.
But I'm the one who doesn't want to turn it on.
Yeah, you don't really, especially inside the houses in Portugal, during the summer it's like 40 degrees Celsius sometimes, so it's very hot. So they prepare the houses for the summer, but it's not that hot like all the time. It's just during like 2 months of the year, if so. And they prepare the houses for extreme hot weather when that's basically just 2 months of the year, and all the other 10 it's always cold.
Well, if they prepare it, then it doesn't work because it's very hot inside.
I don't think they do. They prepare the houses not to retain heat. At least mine was made like that.
So they don't.
So
work.
it was very cold during the winter because it wouldn't retain heat. It's just brick and whatever they put it in it. It doesn't have any heating like they do here. I've seen building houses here and they put like, it looks like wool and stuff like that. They put stuff that looks like wool inside the walls. So it retains heat very well. But in Portugal, no. And I would be cold all the time in my house. And I would be with my face inside the heater and I would still feel cold.
I would put mine inside the oven. No, I'm kidding.
What? But yeah, I would be cold all the time. I have no idea why. I even bought a cream to heat my feet. Like, it'll make your feet feel hot. Because my feet were always freezing and it was very uncomfortable. But here, I don't have that issue. The heating is very nice. Yay! And the last thing that I've noticed is being vegan, it's much easier here. People are more open-minded. Like at my work, I've said that I'm vegan. There's a girl who is vegetarian, and they don't ask you why, and they don't like, oh, but meat is so great. La, 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 la. That's what they do in Portugal.
So juicy, so great, so greasy.
Yeah, in Portugal, like every time that I told people I was vegan, they just try to make me regret it. They were like, but steak is so nice, but meat is so nice.
They've told me, oh, I couldn't do it. Like,
yeah, they tell that.
I would be missing out on a lot.
Yeah, and they don't do that here. I think it's a lot more progressive in that matter because people are just more used to veganism, so they accept it, and not that you have to accept it or not. It's just their personal choices. But here they don't question why you're doing it, and obviously it is much easier to go for restaurants with your friends. When I was back in Portugal, it was very hard unless you were in Lisbon, which obviously has a bunch of vegan restaurants because it's the capital,
which are overly expensive.
Yeah, they were very expensive, some of them, but I would eat in the buffets. Those were cheap because you could just go back and fill your plate until you couldn't eat anymore. But yeah, some of them were expensive. But I think it's because it's Lisbon, all of the restaurants are expensive. But here, it's very easy. Not that we have any friends to go out with, but
most places have got one
if we had
option.
Yeah, most places have at least one vegan option, and there are a bunch of them who are just vegan restaurants.
But keep in mind, they are expensive for what you actually get.
But it's the same price. It's like £12 for a main dish. So it's not really expensive. It's the normal price you would pay.
I know, but it's still.
Anyways.
I want a buffet for £12. A good one.
Yeah, here there are not a lot of buffets, I've noticed.
That's good because it's a very, very bad company. Because I worked for one.
What do you mean a company? It's not
Yeah,
like there is a buffet company.
They use the cheapest kind of food to cook.
Oh, okay.
The people
buffets.
are explored.
That happens in many cases, not just in buffets, Ricardo. I'm sorry to let you know. So here is much easier to go for restaurants and also groceries. I follow a bunch of Instagram pages that publish every single day new stuff coming into the grocery stores that are vegan. Here they sell like fake turkey for Christmas. There's a lot of things that you can do. You literally have tons of options for pre-made food or some ingredients that you need for your cooking to do a vegan lifestyle. So you have options for every kind of lifestyle you're going for. If you like to eat more healthy or if you like a bit more fast food, being vegan doesn't mean you are always eating healthy. So you have a bunch of options in every single store. Like in Portugal, you would have specific big supermarkets that would have some stuff, but some just didn't have anything. Like I have a little close to home and it just didn't have anything at all. When I was leaving, it started to have soy milk, but that was literally it. It didn't have anything. Only some stuff that were accidentally vegan, but it didn't have anything specifically marked
like
for
water
vegan
or
people.
lettuce.
No, I mean chocolate and stuff like that.
Well, chocolate here isn't vegan.
Yeah, it's hard to find vegan chocolate here. In Aldi, at least. That's where we go. I'm sure Tesco has some. Like a bunch of them. But they're more expensive. We would use culinary chocolate in Portugal. But
we
here,
don't find it here.
they have it. But
it
it's not
has
really
milk.
culinary. It's not really culinary. It's just small
And it has milk.
tablets. Yeah. Well,
It's
thank you
bad.
guys for watching. And
Wait, what about the end?
what do you mean the end?
Was it worth it?
Oh, if it was worth it. I mean, it was, obviously. Otherwise, who just left? So it was worth it. And I do like to be here. I don't mean I'll always be in the UK. For the time being, like, where I am at in my... I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
In life?
as I feel right now, I feel good here. When I'm 30, I might feel different.
In this stage of your life.
In this stage of my life, yes. I feel good here. I might change my mind later. But I'll just move wherever. I'm not tied to a place. Like, we've literally moved. And if I feel like going somewhere else, I think I want to live in Germany at some point in my life. I don't know why, but I just do. I might change my mind as well for that, but I don't know. But it is worth to experience living outside of your country, and it is worth to try to live in the UK. It is not perfect, but depending on where you are living right now, it might be a better option, like it was for us.
Yes.
So, Ricardo, you just feel like you're really tired. So, guys, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video or podcast or podcast episode. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Bye.